Ya lo saben. Bienvenidos.
Are you ready? I think I was born ready.
Obviously, you're a little, aggravated by the line of questioning regarding Canelo.
I don't want to touch this, dirty, so bad. I don't want to touch his name.
I'm working on feeling the art of humbleness. Hey, you being me, that's the reason why I'm crying, because I'm not that person no more. And I miss him. But sometimes I feel like a bitch. I don't want that person to come out, because when he comes out, hell is coming with him. And it's not funny at all. It must sound cool, like I'm a tough guy. It's just, I hate that I'm scared.
It would be awesome to, be being a great war. Maybe we were the Mexican.
Let's go. Way pop.
I have to put the joke.
No, hey.
Thank you
Perfect.
for playing, man. I appreciate
Good
you.
timing.
Can't put predictions, man, but I definitely don't want to leave it to the judges.
Oye, ¿me escucha? Sí, somos nosotros. Estamos aquí. Domingo Sunday Recap con los muchachos de Long Live Boxing en vivo podcast. Aquí Manny, siempre en vivo. Marrero.
Chon el Gringo Hicksa. Where's Hopper?
Allergy Hopper.
Oh, man.
This is the season for the allergies. And our boy, it's not available today, but we sure missed him. I wasn't available last week. You guys rocked it, my friends. We hope, Hopper, you get better. But we're going to go straight to it. I know it's Sunday football as well. Hey, we got delighted this morning with some football.
Absolutely, man. So saludos to everyone that's tuning in.
Yes, indeed.
Live or on the archive. We appreciate it on the audio version as well. Shout out to Puerto Rican Rum. Salute, brothers.
Yes, saludo.
Saludos, man.
We got a pretty good show, guys. We're going to break it down like it is, like it should be, the EnVivo style. Huh? What do we got today, amigo gringo?
All right, so we got some confirmation.
Confirmations. Love that stuff.
Qué lindo, él dijo resplendor. ¡Ay, mierda!
My reaction to finding out
Is it the one that we all want, or is it a different confirmation? That's the thing, man.
I don't know. You're talking in code, but it's the one that I want, and that is Regis Prograis versus Jose Chon Zepeda is officially gonna. It has a date. So let's go with that. Shout out to Marv Nation for getting that done. That's a big part of it, getting it across that line. There were some questions if it was going to actually come to fruition for that WBC vacancy. At first, initially was going to be between Jose Chon Zepeda versus Jose Ramirez, but Ramirez had to step away because of obligations of a wedding date. So stepping in is Regis Prograis. So excited. It's not just a woulda, coulda, dream scenario. It's actually come to fruition. Now the question is, it's going to be in LA. They do know that. They're just not confirmed about the venue, so that gives me a little bit more confidence, but the main thing is they have the date. Now as far as a platform, they don't have a platform yet, which a little worry about that. I'm hoping that it's going to be maybe on Fight TV or something where we don't have to have a paywall and we can get right to it and get to that boxing. But I am extremely excited for the fight. I think it has potential for fight of the year. Two hungry guys, two southpaws, two guys with power, high knockout percentage, coming in both off some good momentum. I'd say Chon Zepeda probably the best he's looked in a long time. They can box. They have a real strong skill set for both guys. So I can go on and on, but let's hear from my brother. Manny, what's your thoughts, man?
No, listen, man. This is the best fight, I believe, after at the 140 pounds after Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez fought. What was it? Sometime last year, in where Josh Taylor became the undisputed, champion, and it was a very devastating loss for Jose Ramirez, but he's got some obligations now, and 140 pounds. What can I say? It's stacked. A lot of young talent in that division. If you guys don't know, Josh Taylor vacated some of these belts, and now we have opportunity to see actually Regis Prograis, which, by the way, if I didn't know, he actually did fight Josh Taylor as well. And now here's his opportunity to come back and try it again. Try it again against Chon Zepeda. Chon Zepeda, a very, very interesting fighter. He has come a long way, but he has earned the right to be in this spot. in terms of having that opportunity and being able to become a world champion. I do look forward to this fight as well. I think things are heading in the right direction for both fighters. And man, everyone's dying to see Regis be back at it and be able to have that opportunity to become a world champion. And I think he does have a legitimate chance. However, don't put into the side Zepeda, man. Zepeda, it's good. He has come from great wins against, against Pedraza, Kendo Castañeda, and he had a knockout against Iband, and even took big time Puerto Rican prospect trash talking Josue Vargas to earn this spot. So I'm excited, man. I really am for this.
No, definitely. So yeah, that fight against Berichek was probably one of the most amazing fights I had ever seen. The back and forth, and Chon Zapata came up victorious. Shout out to Puerto Rican Rum. He has a question here. Isn't Zapata a top-ranked fighter? Why is it not ESPN? Good question. The fight is going to be held and brokered by Marv Nation. They're the ones that their management put together the deal. So it could potentially still be on Top Rank. And yeah, Zapata is a top-ranked fighter. That is my hope. I mean, again, I don't want to.
I'm hoping too.
But as of right now, because the fight was potentially in jeopardy for several different things, but they fought through it. So yeah, it could potentially land on ESPN, and that is my hope. I'm really hoping, because you would think with the potential, you think the eyeballs, the fan interest, it's going to be Thanksgiving Day weekend. People are going to be home. So there's a lot of positive, a lot of things to like about it. And it's going to be in LA. I mean, there's talk about being in the, I don't know what in Carson. They used to call it the StubHub. I'm not even sure what they call it anymore. But, outdoor arena. So it's going to be, potentially. So there's a lot of potential where it could be, but as of right now, yes.
Yeah. I think though it'd be fine. I mean, I just hope that it's in a platform that we can all watch, even though if it's going to be some kind of pay-per-view. I know a lot of people are going to tune in. This is what people have been wanting and looking forward to for two talented individuals, and world title, 140 pounds.
Absolutely, man. So let's let's get it.
Get it on.
Let's go. So yeah, definitely we'll get a chance to break it down as far as like the fight. We'll look at the footage and we'll do a special show dedicated to that. Obviously, I'll put it out there. I'm a big fan of both fighters. Biased, obviously, because our man Regis, he trains here in Texas. Is
that why? So you're ever in Regis now? Is that what it is?
Oh yeah, I'm team Regis all day. There's no doubt. All day. But that is not going to impact too much my decision as far as like when I go as far as making a prediction. I mean, I'm really high on both fighters. And like I said, Chon Zapata coming in super hot, coming in hot for sure.
He is. Really is. On a nice streak. And landscape at the home 140. I mean, it's going to keep getting better and better. There is a possibility. I know it kind of postponed, moved back, but it looks like it might happen, and that will be Subriel Matias against Ponce for the IBF. So as you guys can see, 140 pounds just validates what I was just talking about. We got young, talented individuals and looking for a possibility, eventually seeing them all together. We got also rumors that possibly a fight between Sniper Pedraza against Teofimo Lopez. Don't forget about him. He is at the 140 pounds. He's looking forward to any of these fights or any of these future champions. And so that makes this division interesting. And this is not counting the rest of the other, top 5, top 10 ranked at the light welterweight. So yeah, this is good stuff, man. This is boxing Thanksgiving weekend. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. Definitely a lot of families together. And so great entertainment for that weekend to spend time watching the sport you love, besides football, of course.
Yeah, man, that's going to be great. Shout out to the man, the myth, the legend.
Ya lo sabe.
Dugas, No Breaks, boxing, jazz, and more in the house. Salute, brother. Much love, man. Love that channel. And our man, the source.
Canito.
Loco.
Que loco.
Hey, in the house. Let's go, man. And my man, Bruce Goss says, kind of local sports. Salute, brother. Salute, man. Salute to everybody that's in the chat.
Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you guys.
We really appreciate you guys. Man, much love, so much. And I'm gonna go ahead and say this is definitely one of my least favorite topics, but we gotta
come on, bring the spirit up.
I know you're hurting, Shakur. I appreciate you stopping by. Great job.
I'm hurt too, Shakur. I really don't want to do this, man. I mean, it's here we go. All right. So this is a clip about the upcoming talks, the ongoing talks about the novella that keeps going on and on, but it's highly viewed and discussed and debated. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just going to put it out there, play the clip. We're going to talk about it. And I'm talking about Mike Coppinger and Max Kellerman and their thoughts on, a deal supposedly that was in place that is not in place for one Terrence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. for a fight that they had a date. Now they don't have a date. So anyway, here's the clip and we'll give our thoughts and love to hear from the chat as well.
But we still don't have a deal. What's the latest?
Max, we are getting further away than ever before. It was targeted for November 19th. I am told that if it does happen now, it's going to get pushed into either December or January. And the issue, Max, I am told, is that there are disagreement in the contract over event expenses and basically transparency related to those expenses. Terrence Crawford agreed to take the short end of the split and work off of no guarantee, and he wants to be able to just have some transparency there related to it, since he's going to be working off of the net revenue. And so far, they have been unable to clear this up. It feels like Al Heyman is holding up the deal right now. He advises Spence. Spence wants it. Crawford wants it. And for Crawford to agree to work off of just a purse split shows you how badly he wants this, in my opinion.
Hold on a second. You mean to tell me, because anyone who follows the way, Hollywood or anything, there's no such thing as the net. It's all the growth. I mean, certainly if you don't have oversight of the books, right, approving expenses, or certainly at least knowing where all the money's going, no one would ever agree to a net. The fact that Crawford's you work off the gross. But if you're working off the net, then certainly if what you're reporting is accurate, then Crawford would be out of his mind not to insist on that. And you're telling me that that's what's holding it up, that Al Heyman, who's advising Errol Spence, is not giving Terrence Crawford oversight over expenses or giving him transparency to the books, of the books. He's not letting him take a look at the books. And that's why Crawford won't sign? Because that sounds to me, Mike, like a duck. That sounds like Al Heyman doesn't think that his guy is going to win and is ducking Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, this is a mess right now, Max. I mean, they're trying to work through it. They thought they had a deal, and they need transparency over the expenses because Crawford, that's how much Crawford's going to make, right? This is a massive fight, as you've said.
All right, so real quick, let's get to our comments from our brother, man.
La novela.
Man, much respect, brother. If I missed it, sorry. Is Spence versus Bud fight stall now? Al Heyman fault? And he also comment, looks like I asked this a few minutes early. All right, so yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Well, I'll just go ahead and say, as far as again, it is a business of boxing. And if you listen to what Max Kellerman was saying, he's really trying to force a narrative, I think, by using the D word, duck, because in essence, and I've heard the term 360 deal. Bottom line is this, okay? I think about a good friend, rest in peace, that I had, the former Texas boxing commissioner, Dickie Cole, rest in peace. He told me something that stuck with me because I interviewed him, talked to him, had breakfast with him all the time. He said in boxing, a lot of people approached him, a lot of promoters that approached him about showing partial favoritism towards their fighter when he had an event in Texas. He said the one that didn't was Don King. And I was like, well, Don King, he was kind of known for being the shady one. And, he said, no, he never approached me because he didn't have to, because he had a piece of both fighters. And this is what it is. So all Al Heyman is doing is, does he feel like his fighter won't win or whatever Max Kellerman said? He's protecting his investment. Do I like it? No. He wants a piece of Terrence Crawford because he's a free agent. It makes sense. So that way, win or lose, he wins. So that's what that's about. Do I agree with that? Do I like that? No. Is it stalling a fight that people want to see? Yes. And for me, that's basically it. Now, what Max Kellerman is saying and implying he doesn't think his guy can win. No, he thinks there's a possibility that, his fighter could win or lose, but to ensure himself, he wants a piece of both as far as rematches. And there's another ways you can do that to ensure, but to have him long term. So basically, whenever these guys would potentially sign the line of the deal, they would be bestowed an ode to Al Heyman for eternity, like as long as they fight. And is that messed up? Yeah, I think so. But at the end of the day, you got to also think about, what has Al Heyman always consistently done and showed that he likes to keep the money in house, like most promoters, and like Don King did, and it worked for him. Now, Don King was more aggressive, and he understood the audience to make sure that you put good fights and good quality, because the better the product, the better the fan interest. People are losing fan interest because these fights are being made, and you're running through the cycle of the fighters you do have in house have fought each other, and the interest doesn't end there. So that's at least my thoughts on it. Anyway, Manny, what's your thoughts, brother?
It's frustrating because this is one of the biggest fights, to be made in quite some time. There's a lot of Crawford fans, and there's a lot of Spence fans, and sometimes you don't understand, the business part of it. Do the fans want the fight? Yes. Do the promoters want the fight? Of course. Do the boxers want the fight? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, each and everyone is watching for their own interest. Crawford's 34 years old. Okay.
35,
this is probably 35. This is probably most likely his biggest payday. Right. And if Crawford doesn't fight Spence, who is he going to fight that he can make the most money? Transparency is what needs to happen here. But you made a great point. Al Heyman wants to keep this in-house. He knows he's got the ball in his court, and at the same time, he is trying to push this to be one of the biggest events in where everyone can cash in and capitalize on this fight. The problem is the waiting game. They said, he's ducking, he's not ducking. I don't think that Al Heyman, I love Max Kellerman, but I disagree at the point that Al Heyman thinks that his boxer doesn't have a chance against Crawford. I don't think so. And if he's got that mentality, then why is he in boxing and why is he promoting boxers? You always have to believe that who do you have in your stable can do and can perform and can, be able to be the best. But at the same time, we have the impatient fans who are still waiting, who are criticizing about the decisions that are happening. And the waiting game continues. This fight, I keep saying it. We said it, I forgot the episode we were earlier this year, and you all make fun of me. This fight's going to happen. They just need to clear out all the stuff behind the scenes that we don't understand to make sure that everyone is on the same page, and as well as everyone's taking care after the fight. And it's horrible. It's sad. But I think we need to, we need to really have the patience to hold back, sit back, relax. There's more episodes coming out soon. This is not the last of it. Something else will happen within that contract that we don't know that is going to continue to push back this fight. Is it going to happen this year? In my eyes, no. I think that 2023 is poised for greatness when it comes to boxing. And I think we will start 2023, maybe January, maybe February, with a big bang. And that will be finalize Crawford versus Spence. That's the way I think about it, man. And I'm not gonna. I know we get it. We're breaking it down, and I'm not trying to go out and bash either of the camps. They're watching for their own boxers. Who's the best? We'll see inside the ring. But at the same time, you got to understand that this is not Don King. This is not Bob Arum. This is not Eddie Hearn. This is Al Heyman. And Al Heyman does what Al Heyman wants to do. And so if he's holding back, yeah, so be it. And the bottom line is that he's full, all right? And if he doesn't make this fight happen, because I believe that this is the biggest fight that, he's ever going to have. That's my thought on that.
No, and that's fair, man. And, definitely. Let's get to these comments and, go from there. So Stephen Ruiz says, Al is getting too much credit. It's been longer since Bud left Top Rank. he should have had pre-filled out and fumbling, especially the fan interest. I mean, that's definitely perspective too. I mean, it seems like even though I know the direction the Max was trying to get that narrative to get the the clicks and hey, we used the clip obviously, so shout out to him as far as like putting it on. Oh well, Al doesn't believe his fighter can win. Again, I don't think it's really necessarily so much about that. It's more about he wants a piece of both
exactly.
pies. He wants a piece of both pies, and as far as the fighters trying to do more, it was also said by Mike Coppinger, whether you believe it or not. And again, this is all hearsay. He's hearing this secondhand that both fighters consistently wanted that Bud is doing what he can and he's being accommodating. And honestly, it kind of sounds like Al's taking advantage of that and pushing it even further. But that's kind of where we're at. So that's a little disappointing. But it's just
nothing wrong with that, Sean. I mean, we know for a fact some of these promoters, because of the pandemic, they are hurting. And they have key players in the stables that they can capitalize. And at the end of the day, sadly enough, it's all about business. And so ultimately, us fans, kind of hurts when you talked about and open on the show that we have some confirmations, right? That's what I ask. What is it, right? Because we all want to hear that it's signed, it's good to go, and we have a date. The more we wait, the more anxious we get, the more fans will attract, the more money, these guys are going to make. And this is the biggest opportunity for him to put something together amazing. And dude, it's going to be the best fight man, I can't remember the biggest hype of a fight going on in the past higher than what Spence and Crawford for the undisputed 147 pounds, which it hasn't happened in quite some time. I mean, it hasn't happened at all. So patience, my friends. We get it. We understand. I don't try to dive too much on the behind the scenes shit because I don't know anything. But at the same time, hey, I'm still sitting back, relaxing because this is definitely, it has to happen. Sean, it has to happen.
Well, that's where we definitely differ. For one, I think we get too much in our own tunnel vision. It's not the biggest fight. First of all, you could put together 5 heavyweight matchups that'll be bigger than it. And you talk in terms as far as fan interest or hardcore interest. It's a very different thing. So these aren't like guys that are casually known. And that's another thing too. I think if it's truly the biggest fight, then getting the networks, getting all the money wouldn't be a problem. So in terms of what's your measure of success, is it fan interest or people on YouTube or people on social media talking about it in hashtags, or is it people, putting money down and actually wanting to see it fight, or is it promoters and promotion companies and corporate companies putting money behind it? It's all to measure success. If you talk about just people talking about it and, doing super chats and talking about it nonstop, this is the biggest fight ever. But if you're talking about as far as fan interest and people actually buying the fight and not streaming it, it's the biggest fight. I don't think it's the biggest fight. I think it's one of the more.
It's more than fan interest.
It's a big hardcore fan interest fight, but I don't think it's the biggest fight in boxing.
And I think I don't agree with you, but and I respect your opinion, but I think that my concern, the way I see it, is how well it's going to be, or how well does Al Heyman plan it to be? Is he not sure that he's at the way he's thinking he wants this fight to be at? Is he concerned about profitability and being able to make the most money? I think so. Is he clearly strategizing in terms of delaying this to continue to build up more the hype? And I believe that this pay-per-view, it's going to do very, very, very well. I think it will also be as close to as possibly a Canelo Triple G. Maybe he wants to be able to think about it even higher than that. Is it going to happen? I'm not sure. But the more you keep delaying it, the more you keep bringing to the public, to the fans, giving opportunity to the casuals to tune in, that is a strategy that, a lot of these promoters do have. And maybe it's just small things in contracts, maybe are bigger things in that. But if you think about it, everything else was settled, right? Until just this incident. So is it anything else is going to come out of this? I believe so. I think this is not the end of it. And I think that it's purposely done to attract more attention. What's that?
No, which makes me sad. Like when you say the end of it, like as far as like the ongoing discussions, or you still believe the fight will happen?
The fight will happen, but something else will come up within the contract. They'll settle this dispute, whatever it is, and something else will happen, right? Maybe the venue is not the correct one. Maybe we want to do it somewhere else. Maybe another huge sponsor or someone comes in that wants to pitch in more money. Hey, maybe we'll take it to overseas to Dubai or some of these rich countries that will be able to put a lot more money. I don't know. I mean, definitely the fight needs to be here in the States. However, in my eyes, that waiting game, that it's like a chess game, right? You think you have it in a checkmate, but you want to be able to, keep pressing and pushing to make sure that at the end of the day, right, it's going to be a very successful event. But I think it doesn't have to be with Crawford and Spence. I think also as well as what kind of undercard you build under it to make sure it solidify that, and you get the interest more of the casuals and more of. And let me tell you, I was just come back for overseas, and a lot of people that possibly look like casuals, they are waiting, and they ask me, Manny, what is going on? And my response to that is the waiting game, get more attraction. So finally, when it's done, you get your money's worth, but not to mention these promoters make the money they want to. They're envisioning with two of the biggest boxers right now. They're I mean, Chon, this is big, man. This is huge. I'm telling you. And so with that, these guys are not getting any younger. We don't see anything else in the future for either Spence or Crawford unless they move up to 140 pounds. And you did see Charla. He has no interest to fight, Spence. So either that happens, and I believe it happens. I think most likely if it doesn't end up in a knockout and is a very close decision, I think there's going to be a potential for a second fight. So the soap opera, it's not going to end, even though, all right, if the fight's made, the fight's done, whoever's the winner, it could be a potential for a second fight and more money involved.
Well, yeah, definitely. And I think there's potential if they were to come to agreement, because for both fighters, it will be the most lucrative. Now, I will say that if there's a pivot that can be made where, lucrative opportunity for one, and it's not being biased, I think that the best one to take a pivot and still have a lucrative opportunity as far as money-wise would be Errol Spence, because he could always fight in Cowboy Stadium. And then he could always fight Virgil Ortiz. And that fight would be a very lucrative fight. And that would be a profitable fight. Would it be as big or, as huge or, all those superlatives you gave? No, but the potential there to make money and have a big fight. I don't feel that, only my opinion, because of the following and because of, where he's from, I don't think Bud could do the same type of pivot. Like he could do a fight where it would be big and that there'd be interest from a hardcore perspective. But these aren't, because that's another thing too. I think people miss the whole boogeyman thing. Like what does that actually means is, it's a guy that's good and talented that is his talent surpasses marketability, right? All the things that were said by Bob Arum, they were horrible to say, and I says promoter, but there's some truth to that. Sometimes being the angry brother doesn't play off well, and it doesn't always, this is not the 80s. All right. Yeah. So people don't want to see that.
And one thing that came to my mind or was confirmed by a lot of our local medias is, you got to watch for your best interest when you're a fighter. And, I used to talk about that Crawford wants to fight. People don't want to fight him, but he doesn't want to fight the boxers. They want to fight him. But at the end of the day, how much is he going to make fighting anyone else other than Spence or anyone else other than Charlo at the 154? Right.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So for me to, if I was Crawford, for me to make a decision to fight someone else and risk everything on the line that I can't secure my future, although he was undisputed at 140, he moved up and then captured on the world title. I don't think he's gotten paid at the level he expects to get paid. So he's actually streamlining this contract and with magnifying glass to make sure that at the end of the day, he gets what he deserves.
All right. So with that being said, think of somebody said that's very, important, that he doesn't have an opportunity to make as big of a fight, as much money, right?
Yeah.
You don't think, that Al Heyman knows that? He does. If we know that, Al clearly does. So that's why he's taking advantage.
This is why he's his chase game. He's his board. The ball is on the court. He's got the chess game, and he's playing his pieces the way he wants to. And at the end of the day, it has to benefit Spence over Crawford. They think he's the A side. He's got the most belts. You can compare resumes back and forth, and we can all have a debate about it and disagree on it. But the guy who's got everyone grabbed by the balls is Al Heyman. And so that's for that. And I don't have a problem with that. Just I know it's going to happen. I have no problem. I want to see this fight, and I hope both guys are well taken care of because this is great boxing.
No, definitely. So get to these comments, and then we'll go on to something else. So Steven Ruiz, he didn't do what he wanted to do with Canelo and the 2-3 fight deal. He had to fold to Canelo 1 fight with Plant. That's a great point by Steven Ruiz because he was very salty after that. The one and done. He wanted to get some more of that, and it is one of those things. Danny PR78, hello. Hey yo. Agreed with Gringo. It's the biggest hardcore because if Canelo fights Benavidez on the same day, it gets smoked. All right, that would be a crazy day.
I mean, can you? Okay. So can you imagine? Can you imagine main event, 2 main events, just like he did with the Charlos? Okay, put them up at the same night. Can you imagine a fight this magnitude? All right, and whether you split the card or do something, but this is also what the fans want. If you're going to put me on a waiting game and I'm excited and I'm going to be the one who's been paying this pay-per-view, I want that to be worth it. And I think history will be made if something like this, I don't think it'll ever happen, but if something like this and you build up an undercard that is worth watching, not only casuals, hardcore boxings, I mean, this could be the biggest pay-per-view we've seen.
Potentially, but we've also seen too because the purses have got so high for the main event,
and that's difficult. You got a lot of money in the main event. You don't have anything to kind of distribute down on the undercard. But this is the problem about Al Heyman. This is why his pay-per-views aren't that successful in compared to others, because you're not giving the public what they want to give him. One fight, $75.
I mean, one fight, and then the rest is a showcase. It's guys that he's showcasing against guys either past their prime that are shot worn, guys that they're fighting against guys that are clearly not on the same level. And you're thinking, okay, you're excited because obviously it's boxing. You're a hardcore fan. You're intensely anticipating that main event, but it's the whole. You're paying for the card, right? So you do lose a lot for the undercard for sure. And so Steven Ruiz says you can't afford a good undercard because you have to pay the bill for the top guys, and I agree with that.
That makes sense.
Shout out, brother.
Dímelo, Michael.
Hey yo, saludos, man, saludos. So good stuff there, man. Good stuff, but it goes on and on, man. Unfortunately, and I'm tired of talking about it, brother. Man, it's been pretty crazy, man. Things have been going wild, and just want to give you guys a little glimpse of, because sometimes our brother Manny, he's busy. He's a ladies' man, and he's not always available to get on the line with us.
And my apologies for being late, but I got caught up with some punana.
That's an actual chat message from my brother right there. But anyway, let's get to some news and notes. Our brother from another mother, Nestor Bravo.
Oye.
Hey, yo, man. So he's going to be returning to the ring. What's up with that?
Yes. The La Guerra Civil, that's what they call it. It's going to be live pro box. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Chari Chevalier will be fighting against countryman Angel Bertito Aponte. This is going to be 26th of October in El Coliseo Roberto Clemente in San Juan. This is going to be for the vacant Intercontinental Junior Lightweight, which Chari is moving up, going from being the best 126-pound, as he calls it, trying to make a statement at 130 pounds. So he's going to be having a really good challenge coming up here. And on the same card, our boy Nestor Bravo will be there. And this is great boxing for Puerto Rico. There's a great opportunity. There's an up-and-coming contender such as Nestor Bravo. People are dying to see what can Chari do onto the next level. He was expecting to at least try an opportunity to, contend for a world title at 126. El local de Bayamón, Puerto Rico decides to move up. And, a lot of speculations about not fighting anyone from Puerto Rico. He doesn't duck anyone. And here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be 26th of October, Coliseo Roberto Clemente. You can get your tickets down in Tiquetera, tiquetera.com, and, have an opportunity to see greatness. Puerto Rico boxing is back. And, I haven't gotten a glance of an undercard, but I heard it is going to be amazing. And we just got the news. Nestor Bravo will be part of it. Nestor Bravo was supposed to fight what? Was it at the...
Roberto Clemente?
No, but Nestor Bravo was supposed to fight before that, and unfortunately didn't happen. And now he's going to have a chance to, to come back to the ring in his own Puerto Rico. And what a better way to do it in a Coliseo Roberto Clemente, one of Puerto Rican's idol in baseball history. So I'm excited about that, man. And, there's a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of great prospects, a lot of great fights that are going to be made in the future when it comes to Puerto Rico. I wish I can go. I don't think I can make that fight, but we'll see. Last minute, who knows?
And that's also on that Thanksgiving weekend, Saturday.
Exactly.
So
no. This is the 26th of October.
Okay. Even better.
Yeah,
so that's also not October. So real quick, and also to those in the chat, would love to hear, what fight are you most looking for? What fight are you most looking for in this month? So we got, obviously, we have the ladies card on the 15th. Looking forward to that. That's rescheduled, coming back. That's going to be great. You have an unexpected card. I know our brother Hopper is not a fan of, but you have Ben versus Eubanks, right? The legacy battle. That's going to be next weekend. That's going to be some afternoon to light. You got Wilder returning. And obviously you got Bivol versus Zurdo. What fight are you most looking forward to?
I am looking forward to Bivol and Zulo Ramirez. I mean, the battle of the undefeateds, and Zulo Ramirez, if you guys have followed him, his career has been an up and down, not because of him, but the unfortunately of the business itself, promotions back and forth. Zulo decides to come back. He did it, in great style. He has earned the opportunity right now. And I think, the entire world will be watching. And the reason why to it is because of Bivol was the one that actually stopped, Canelo from continuing to build this legacy. Then you got another Mexican undefeated, former champion, 168 pounds. And now he's trying to do the same thing against the young guy that we all know what he's capable of. So, that for me, it's going to be history in terms of having two different countries fighting, for a world title, especially, when it comes to Zulo Ramirez trying to make it again and being on top of the world. And, when you think about that, you say, wow, you have to go through a lot of things in your career. And some of those things were devastating, and, probably you think your career is done. And then when you sit back and look at what's happened to him, these are some of the things to get excited about. So perseverance, hard work, dedication, commitment, and he's got a lot of fans that are following him.
Man, love that. And that's the fight I'm most looking forward to as well. I mean, obviously I'm looking forward to, checking out the ladies.
The ladies. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'm going to that body. I'm snatching her ovaries.
Oh man, this bum corner.
She's gonna smash it.
Oh, such a
I'm
fan.
about to eat your ass.
Hey,
would you like some peanut butter with that?
Hey.
Or rice and beans?
Let's go! Monday morning.
She's gonna eat them ass like that, make it barbecue style.
Man, it's getting buck wild. And then just got blue. With your boys. All right, so let's go ahead and final thoughts, Manny.
Final thoughts, man. Be patient, bro. Be patient. Don't get too caught up into the hype. This fight's going to happen. We talked about it. We keep talking about it. We will continue to talk about it. Let the guys that do the things they have to do behind the scenes enjoy what we have in our plates, which we're going to have a fantastic month of October in boxing. We're going to continue to bring some more, some of the other boxers that we'll be fighting throughout the month as cards being built up. Regis, Prograis, sealed up, done deal. Subriel Matias against Spence. I mean, come on, guys, right? We got boxing to watch. We get it. We get it. You want that. You want Crawford and Spence. Siéntate, relájate, tómate un café, una cervecita, una chela. Sigue viendo la telenovela. ¿Por qué? Because we got more episodes, and who knows? Probably you think it's the final season, and then another season pops up and something else come out. Don't get desperate. It's going to happen. Manny Marrero guarantees it. We're going to see Spence Crawford 2023.
Whoa, man. I hear you, brother. Man. Okay. All right.
What's next?
Oh, well, everybody know who I want next.
Not really. All right. So let's go to it. I'll go ahead and say, no, I'm just being a hater. I do think it's going to happen.
A hater? Where's Hoppin when we talk about haters?
He's
Did he send something about it? Did he?
Nah. We'll get to that. But what I did want to say is, things out. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in every week, man. It's been great, man. We've had so much growth, so much interaction with the fans, good, bad, and different. Even that hater talking about the shape of my head. Your mama likes it. So it's going down every week. Check us out on Sunday. And I will say this, the thing I love about boxing is that it is the beautiful, sweet science. It brings people together and it celebrates the culture, all right? The culture of different groups, ethnicities, countries, and nothing captures that better to me. One of my favorite moments is when Vicente Fernandez sings a Mexican national anthem for Julio Cesar Chavez for one of his fights many moons ago. And also I wanted to say that there's nothing more important than you can give to somebody and more precious and valuable. I remember that when I had a pit bull charging at me, chasing it right at my nuts. And I'm thinking, you know what? This could be it. This could be it. True story.
Bow wow.
Yeah.
UPO, UPA.
I need that for later. By myself.
So you mean you're alive?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, God. And he gave me another opportunity for this show and for this closing, which I'm butchering.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much. We love you. Shout out to Women Crushing the Wednesday. We love you, ladies. Bye.
Top recording artist from Mexico, Vicente Fernandez.
Mexicanos al grito de guerra, el acero aprestad y el bridón, y retiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón, y retiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Ciñe, oh patria, tus sienes de oliva, de la paz el arcángel divino, que en el cielo tu eterno destino por el dedo de Dios escribió. Mas si osare un extraño enemigo profanar con su planta tu suelo, pienso, patria querida, que el cielo un soldado en cada hijo te dio, un soldado en cada hijo te dio. Mexicanos al grito de guerra, el acero a prestar y el gridón, y retiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón, y retiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón.